the man behind the curtain. This is Brian Cain with the Mental Performance Daily Podcast. And Lyman, he was a daydreamer. Born the seventh of 9 children, he got little attention from his parents. A weak heart kept him inside. He couldn't go out and play. And as a result, Lyman spent lonely days dreaming of fantasy land somewhere over the rainbow. He would expend his life searching for a pot of gold at the end of those rainbows. But by his early 30s, he had been a journalist, printer, postage stamp dealer, and poultry breeder. Then he published a trade journal, only to fail at that too. He started his own theater, becoming its writer, director, and lead actor. Most of his plays were flops. When he fell in love with Maud, her mother warned her that Lyman, he was a flake. But Mom's misgivings were no match for his ability to mesmerize Maud with his fantasies. After they married, his theater went belly up, so he moved his family to the Dakota Territory, where he opened an emporium specializing in Chinese paper lanterns, bohemian glass, and gourmet chocolates. But prairie farmers in the 1880s were not interested in novelties. This time, the dreamer went bankrupt. When he moved to Chicago, his mother-in-law watched him captivate his children with magical stories and suggested that he write children's books. His first was called Father Goose, his book a collection of pictures and rhymes. He then wrote a novel for children. And while searching for a title, he noticed that the label on the bottom drawer of a file cabinet, O to Z. Every publishing company turned down his manuscript until one offered to print it if he paid the costs himself. He waited for what seemed an eternity before the first copy sold. It was Christmas of 1900, and he couldn't afford presents for his children. In desperation, he went to the publishing company in hopes of finding a royalty check. When it was handed to him, he didn't dare look at it. He arrived home with the check in his hand. He gave it to his wife. When Maud peeked at the number, she almost fainted. It was a check made out for $1,423.98, the equivalent of over $50,000 today. You see, everything changed for Lyman Frank Baum when the world fell in love with his book, whose title was inspired by a file cabinet label O to Z, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It became America's best-selling book, and Lyman Frank Baum would write 70 books out of those fantasies that he dreamed up during his lonely childhood. In 1919, he died of the heart problems that kept him indoors as a child. He didn't live to see his book turned into a 1939 Hollywood movie or his beloved characters become etched into American culture. But his amazing story should encourage those who take longer to discover their true calling in life. It also proves that there are no wasted moments. Even a failure on the prairies of the Dakotas can teach something about tornadoes in Kansas and hope that comes from the storm somewhere over the rainbow. So the one thing you have to realize from the story of Lyman Frank Baum is that opportunity is always here. You have unlimited potential inside of you. You have untapped greatness inside of you. There's a man behind the curtain. There's a Wizard of Oz inside of you. There's greatness inside of you. How can you bring that out today? You may not see the results tomorrow, but keep moving forward because baby steps are truly progress, and there's greatness inside of you.
Thanks for checking out Mental Performance Daily with Brian Cain, an IRONCLAD original. If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating, review, and comments. We'll see you tomorrow.